Welcome to the Gather podcast, where we help women navigate business, career, motherhood, and more, all while keeping your faith at the center. Because we believe growth never happens alone, it happens when we gather. So let's gather together. All right, everybody, welcome to episode 1 of the Gather podcast. I am so excited to be back on here podcasting, to be connecting with you guys. It has been so long. For those of you who have been subscribed to the channel, I want to say hello. And here in a little bit, I'll dive into kind of where I have been. For anyone who is new or just tuning in, welcome. This is a podcast that is faith-filled and will really give you practical tools to succeed in your life. Now, you guys, we have some catching up to do. It has been almost a year since I have published an episode, and there has been so much that has happened. Now, I know when it comes to content creation and anyone who's, building a following on social media, and especially as a marketing director, it is a big no-no to just go MIA for almost a year on your social media channels. And I know that. I apologize. But also as a believer, I want to say about a year ago, we had moved into a new house, which now we're in another new house. A lot's happened. So we had moved into a new house and we took a break previously from the podcast for what we thought was going to be a really short time. But God had other plans. So I want to kind of explain where I've been, what's going on, what is this rebrand. So during that time, we took a break from the podcast. We were going to get settled at the new house, get the kids settled and whatnot. I thought we were going to continue on with the podcast, and I really felt deep in my spirit that the Lord was telling me to really put a pause to it. He was calling me to be fully present with Him and fully present with my family and the things going on. And there was a lot that was going on over the last year. So I won't dive into all of those details because it's not truly relevant. But God was telling me to just put a pause to the podcast and to be quiet about it. Now, the Bible says to live a quiet life. And I believe that there are truly times when God tells you to do something and we don't owe the people around us an explanation, or we don't owe the world an explanation. And so I just stopped filming episodes. I felt that I was being obedient to God's call at that time in my life to just not publicly announce everything that was going on, and the call that God had just told me to put a pause. And I trusted the Lord in that. And so here we are. He's calling me back into podcasting. I feel a lot of peace with where we're at. But over that journey of the year, there was just so much that happened. We were in a season, and when I say we, myself, my husband, just our family, we were in a season of pruning and stretching and growing. We've grown spiritually in so many ways. I have grown in so many ways personally during that time away from the podcast that, I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for that time. And I also I took a leap of faith and jumped into entrepreneurship, which was exciting, but also such a learning journey. And this kind of leads to the reason why we've rebranded the podcast to the Gather podcast. Now, during this journey of entrepreneurship, as a working mom, navigating entrepreneurship and really wanting to do it with God at the center, I found that it has been a very lonely journey, and it's been a very challenging journey. It has been a journey that's hard to find other Christian females that can relate with me in this. And so I've joined coaching programs. I have navigated so many different avenues to find other faith-filled women and groups to connect with. And there's just not a whole lot out there. There's coaching programs out there and communities that are so full of knowledge and wisdom when it comes to career development and business development. And all of that knowledge is great. But at the center of it all is this manifestation and this kind of self-idolatry of like build for yourself and really self-focus, and it just never sat well, and I just always had a hard time in those groups. And so while I've been building this and wrestling with God, I really felt called to create something that I couldn't find. And so that this has been the journey and the birth of the Gather podcast. Now, this podcast is really going to be focused around bringing you, working women or mompreneurs, women of faith that are in entrepreneurship, that are wanting to build careers, bringing you guys practical and tangible tips. I believe that we don't have to buy into the narrative that I hear so often. There's a narrative and a picture that the world has painted for us women that if you are a working mom, you're either going to succeed in your career and fail at home, or you're going to fail at your career and you're going to succeed at home. Like, we can't have both, and we can't do both. And I disagree with that. I disagree with that because I have seen success in both areas for myself. It just looks very different than the picture the world has painted for us. And so my hope with this podcast is to bring you tangible tips and resources that really help and equip you to succeed in motherhood, succeed as a wife, succeed in building your small business, whether you're just starting your business journey like me, or maybe you have a small business and you're feeling stuck. I want to create a community of women that keep their faith at the center, that can rally around you to help you really grow and to feel supported. And so, we can never grow just on our own, trying to roll up our sleeves and do it ourselves. It happens when we gather together. So I hope over these next few weeks or months, as we begin to release episodes and I begin to bring you content, tips and tricks that I can help you succeed and feel truly, truly supported and connected with a community of women that want to champion you. So what you can expect over the next course of a few months, we are going to start slowly releasing episodes in the middle of the week. Tuesdays or Wednesdays, I'll have those episodes coming out in the mornings. Probably leaning more towards Wednesdays right now. I'm kind of getting our plan settled for the podcast and rolling this plan out. I'll make an announcement once our episodes start to hit the ground running. I hope that you will tune in. My plan is to have some guest speakers on the podcast that are experts in business development, experts in marketing, experts in leadership. So I want to bring you guys not just my opinions, but other women that truly get it and understand what it's like to balance motherhood and business, motherhood and career, while never losing sight of yourself and never losing sight of the cross. So I hope you'll tune in over the next few weeks. I am so excited to be back with you guys and really excited to see what becomes of this podcast. So have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to gather again with you.